So you want to sell your house, but you don't have the money to get it all fixed up? Don't worry. Today I'm going to share with you my top 10 cheap home improvements that make a big difference to help get your house sold. I'm Carol Anner with The Real Deal, the place to go to get the confidence and the clarity that you need to make the right real estate decisions for you. And today we are talking about home improvements that you can do on the cheap that make a big difference when trying to sell your house. These tips that I have for you today, we are going to mostly focus on your return on investment, the cheap things that you can do that will actually really add value to your house. They may be cheap, but I'm warning you right now, they may not necessarily be easy.
10.
So the first one is one you've heard a million times, but we have to say it again because it is so important, and that is to clean and declutter. Go through your whole house and take out everything that you don't use on a regular basis. Rent a storage unit or get one of those pods that get taken away again. Put all of that extra stuff that you can't bear to part with, put that stuff in the pod or the storage space and leave it there while you're trying to sell your house. Getting rid of all extra stuff just makes your house look and feel bigger. And then when you're done taking everything out of there that doesn't need to be there, clean. And I mean clean like you've never cleaned before. Get down into every nook and cranny. Dust everything. Get rid of every cobweb that's up by the ceiling. Go into your bathroom and clean the grout that may be around your tile. Get rid of all water stains and mineral deposits in your tubs and showers. And one thing you can use to clean the toilet is a pumice stone. I kind of feel like this is a secret that not so many people know about because I just learned about it not all that long ago, but it's called a pumice stone. This is what it looks like. Use that inside the toilet to get off those hard water stains. And last but not least, clean every window that you can and the screens that go with them.
9.
Paint. Never underestimate the value of a fresh coat of paint. Chances that other people are going to like the colors that you put on your walls are pretty slim. So go through the whole house if you can and paint it a nice light neutral, like a grayish. What happened to just calling it taupe? And that's such a great color because, as the name implies, it has both gray and beige in it. So whatever your buyer leans toward, the cool colors or the warm colors, that paint color will match. So they'll be able to walk in and know that they don't have to repaint for a while.
8.
Kitchen cabinets. If your kitchen cabinets are looking a little sad and need a little facelift, go ahead and paint them. It may not be an easy chore and it could be a time-consuming chore, but the difference that it's going to make will be phenomenal. And they actually have new cabinet paint now where all you got to do is clean up your cabinets. You don't even have to go through all of the sanding and stuff. And if you're going to do this, do it right and rent a paint sprayer if you don't have one. You can get one at your big box stores or whatever, but use that paint sprayer to make a nice, clean, even finish. If you can't do that, then use a paint roller. But really try hard not to use a paint brush. And once you get those nice new spiffy looking cabinets, take a look at the countertop. If that now is looking pretty sad, you can paint that too. Different kind of paint, but they do have paint for your countertops as well. And if you're repainting the cabinets and repainting the countertop, think about going just one step further and putting up a tile or tin backsplash. Small detail, but it will add a lot, and your whole kitchen will be transformed. And just so you know, you can actually do all of those things for probably less than $500. For $500, you can transform your entire kitchen into a brand new room.
7.
And speaking of tile, if yours looks dated in your bathrooms, go ahead and re-tile. And I know that sounds like a big project. And I'm not saying it's not a big project, but it's a project that you can do and you can do for pretty cheap. There are a ton of videos on YouTube on how to tile. It's not very hard. It just takes some time to watch those videos and see how to do it. But you can do it, and you can rent a tile saw if you want. Otherwise, they have tile cutters that are pretty inexpensive if you want to buy one. And the trick to tiling on a budget is to pick a cheaper tile that will take up most of the space. Then you spend some money on some more expensive tiles that you use just as accents sporadically. Stunning effects for very little money. Just a little note for you though, if you are planning on ripping the tile off your bathroom walls, if you have an older home, I don't know, pre-1990, pre-1980, certainly by 1970, there's a very good chance that the tile was put right onto sheetrock, which is not the standard for today. So be prepared to take that sheetrock out and put in cement board. Again, not hard, just a little extra cost, and the job will be so much better for it in the end.
6,
Replace all of your cabinet pulls and knobs and hinges if you can. And if you have the money, go and do it in all of the bathrooms as well. If you can make them all match together, that's bonus points, because that gives your house a whole cohesive feel. But if not, concentrate on the kitchen for sure. And while you're at it, take a look at your doorknobs. Doorknobs can make your house feel pretty darn dated. So take a look at those and see if you need to update those as well. And again, bonus points if you can get those to match all of the rest of your pulls and knobs and hardware. It'll be like you planned the whole thing.
5,
Okay, next is something that a lot of people overlook, but it's really actually a big one, and that is switches and outlets. Now,
Danger, Will Robinson, danger!
this is electricity you're going to be dealing with, but do a little research on how to make those switches safely, and you can do this. Get rid of those dingy ivory off-white ones and put in some bright, new, fresh white ones. They are going to look so much better. And one last thing about switches. Remember that there is single pole, which is one switch controls one light, or there's double pole, where two switches control one light. So you can flip the switch from two different places in your house. Those get wired a little bit differently, but if you have those, just do a little extra research on double pole switches, and somebody will show you how to do it.
4,
Rolling right along with our electricity theme is new lighting fixtures. If you still have those brass and glass ones on the ceiling from the 80s, time to get rid of them. And the big box stores actually have wall-mounted lights in a 2-pack for like $20. So it's really inexpensive to be able to go around your whole house and switch out those old fixtures. Now, if you have an entryway that has like a big brass chandelier or something and it's going to cost you like $1,000 to get a new one, check and see. I mean, you can do that, obviously, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. But if you don't have that kind of money, take a look at it and see if maybe you can just spray paint it. Black iron today is obviously a trend. So see if you can take that 80s brass and just spray paint it into a black iron look instead. It'll make it look like a whole new fixture for a $5 can of spray paint.
3,
All right, the next one is kind of an umbrella of a lot of things, and that is curb appeal. And curb appeal is so important. If somebody pulls up to your house and they don't like what it looks like on the outside, they could just leave without even bothering to go inside and see what you have to offer on the inside. So make sure that your outside is beautiful as well. And all these things on this list are fairly inexpensive, but they do make a big difference. Things like put fresh mulch on your landscaping. Go through, if you have flower beds, make sure that you have some nice flowers planted in them and make sure the weeds are pulled out and pull all the weeds out from the sidewalk cracks. If you have an asphalt driveway, go ahead and resurface it so it looks like it's brand new. If it's spring or summer, get some nice pots of flowers to put on either side of the door. Speaking of the door, if that looks kind of sad, put a fresh coat of paint on that. Maybe a nice pop of color, but bring that to life a little bit. Even a new welcome mat makes a difference. If you have a wrought iron railing by your front door that's rusting out, fresh coat of paint on that. If you have a mailbox that's rusting out or looks pretty sad, either repaint that or get a new one. Take a look at the screens on your windows. Make sure that there are no rips in your screens. If there is, replace that screen. Trim the bushes. Make sure that they are not out of control. And lastly, clean the siding. Get a pressure washer. Make sure the siding of the house is all nice and clean. Get rid of all those outdoor cobwebs and all those years of dirt that have splashed onto your siding.
2,
Staging. This is where you paint a picture for the buyer of what it would look like for them to live in your house. And make sure that you concentrate on the kitchen and the master bedroom in particular, because studies have shown that those are the two most important rooms that people look at. But even though you're looking at those two rooms in particular, make sure that you don't leave the other rooms out. Make sure that every room has a purpose, even if it's just a den or an exercise room. Every room should have a purpose so the buyer can see what they could do with that room as well. And not to add one more thing to your to-do list, but if you could just quickly go right down below and hit the like button, that would be greatly appreciated.
1,
Okay, so here we are at number 10, and I realize that there are so many things that I want to tell you. I don't want to leave any of them out. So we are going to do a lightning round. Here we go. Paint wood paneling. If your baseboards are dated, replace your baseboards. Scrape the popcorn off those ceilings. Get your carpet cleaned. Replace all of the light bulbs that are burnt out. And last but not least, check your bathroom and kitchen faucets. If they look kind of dated or sad, just need a little help, get new faucets. Need more information on selling your house? Well, right here are the top 5 mistakes that sellers make. Watch it so you know what not to do. And if you like this kind of content, click right here for the subscribe button. Thanks for watching. See you next time.